Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Flying off the deep end. Get it? I'm excited. Woo! Hello! Welcome back. I've got some book mail that was waiting for me when I got home from, I don't want to call it vacation, but I had to fly home for a family emergency, and this was waiting at my door, and I'm very excited because I think I know what one of these is, and it's gonna be what I read immediately, like starting after I stop filming this. So let's start with my Afterlight box. I actually did not, like, I usually look at the little like teasers and usually am able to like figure out what book it is, but this month I just didn't have the time to look or even guess, so I'm going in blind. A winter book in the summer. That's interesting. It says Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. It is pretty though. It's so random to get like a winter book in May. And then the moment you all have been waiting for, the reason you clicked on this video title. Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Wow, this is gonna be so satisfyingly floppy. Oh, I already ruined it. Fudge. Oh no. All right. This is supposed to be the sequel to Not in Love, which was not my favorite Ali Hazelwood book. This one follows Maya and Connor. So Maya Kilgore is 23, still in the process of figuring out her life, and Connor Harkness is 38, and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. It's such a cliche, it always makes her heart implode. Older man and younger woman, successful biotech guy and struggling grad student, brother's best friend, and the girl he never knew existed. So another trope heavy book. As Connor loves to remind her, the power dynamic is too imbalanced. Any relationship between them would be problematic in too many ways to count, and Maya should just get over him. After all, he's made it clear that he wants her gone from his life. But not everything is as it seems, and cliches sometimes become plot twists. When Maya's brother decides to get married in Taormina, she and Connor end up stuck together in a romantic Sicilian villa for over a week. They're on the beautiful Ionian coast between ancient ruins, delicious foods, and natural caves. Maya realizes that Connor might be hiding something from her, and as the destination wedding begins to erupt out of control, she decides that a summer fling might be just what she needs, even if it's a problematic one. I don't know, ma'am. Ali Hazelwood's an auto-buy author for me. This one seems a little different, but then again, like lately she's just been like flying off the deep end. Get it? Okay, we're gonna give this one a shot. I love that there's like foil on the cover. Random sidebar. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile. You're all I ever wanted.
And I really need to change my curtains. I used to have a blue room, but then my friends got me a yellow beanbag chair for Christmas like 2 years ago. And then I decided to change my whole aesthetic to yellow, and I changed like my bedding and all my accessories and everything, and I just never changed my curtains. Anyways, besides pointing out flaws that you probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise, I'm actually pretty far into problematic summer romance. I haven't really like updated because it's been like 3 days now since I started this book, and I have only really been reading like on the bus or train, which is like times that I don't really do well with like updating. because obviously it's loud and there's a lot of people. But I'm on page 138, and I feel like that's, like given how little time I've had to actually read, that's pretty good. The chapters in this book are pretty easy to read, and I at first was having a really hard time getting into the book, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this happens to me with most Ali Hazelwood books. I just feel like she has like such a different way of like the way she structures her sentences and her word choice and things like that, that she does that thing sometimes that Jessa Hastings does, where it's like a sentence fragment instead of a full sentence. She doesn't always do that, so it can be kind of difficult to like switch back and forth sometimes. It's just like a random thing that I've noticed that she just like does here and there, maybe like a few times in the book. The other things I can't really explain. It's just that the way that she words her sentences is not the way that I would word that. I don't know how to explain, other than the fact that like it just takes me some time to kind of just like maybe read or reread a sentence to kind of figure out what she's trying to say to me. Not that her books are confusing, it's just different, I guess. I don't know. Let me know if you think I'm crazy or if you also feel this. I did have so many thoughts though, and like most of the things that I have tabbed thus far in this book, you can't even see my tabs, it's like so bright in here, but most of the things I have tabbed are mostly things that have made me just like a little, I wouldn't say uncomfortable per se, but a lot of what this book thus far talks about is how, one, Connor sees Maya like a child, and two, how she kind of feels a little bit like put down and felt like inferior because she believes that him, his brother, and all their friends see her as like a baby, and they all make like jokes at her expense about how she doesn't know anything, doesn't understand anything, is a baby, is a fetus, or whatever, because she's 15 years younger than the male main character and all the other characters in this book, because the male main character is best friends with her brother. So her brother's 15 years older, and then the Connor is her brother's best friend that they met in college. So all of her brother's friends are all 15 years older than Maya, and she's kind of seen as like the baby sister that they helped to raise and have known since she was a little girl. And they have that like dynamic going on where it's like he met her when she was 13 and he still sees her as like 13 forever. But one mistake from being together, let's not act like it's not right. Won't be 17 forever. I don't know why that just came to my head, but quality music right there. I'm very curious to see how she is going to bridge the gap from them making fun of her for being a baby to them being in a romantic relationship, because yes, this book is marketed as like this is problematic. It definitely is problematic to me that he sees her as a child and then would be attracted to her, because that means that you're attracted to a child. You know what I mean? And I don't have any like issue with age gaps. I've been thinking about this so much as I've been reading this book, because like, for example, my parents are 4 years apart, and I just like never noticed the difference. They never talk about it. It didn't really seem to like make a difference in their lives. Okay, let's not incriminate anybody here, but it is questionable at a certain age, and then once you're like in adulthood, I think age gaps just don't matter as much. For me, I would say that after College is more when I started to see like all adults just kind of like in the same general category. And I've had a conversation with a friend before who is 12 years younger than her husband, and she says that they just never really like notice it or talk about it, and it's fine. So I do think that for certain people, like just a big age gap wouldn't be a big deal after a certain age. In this book, I feel like we're kind of towing the line a little bit. I don't know. I think I don't think I have an issue with the age gap per se. I have an issue with the fact that they see her as a child and he's still like engaging in a like semi-romantic relationship. Granted, he's not really like reciprocating the feelings outwardly, but it's giving like he may have some feelings and he's just like not willing to express them because of her age. I don't know if that makes sense. It really only matters like what your perspective of their age is, I guess. You know what I mean? I may be repeating myself now, going in circles. I just like really don't know how to feel about this. Okay, so like here's an example of something that made me feel really uncomfortable. So Maya goes, Connor Harkness, I tutted, you walking red flag. And he says, I'm a man in finance in my mid-30s talking to a 20-year-old about his lifelong hobbies. I'm surprised you didn't notice before. Like it's giving that he feels like he shouldn't be doing this, but he still is. I don't know. We will see how this develops. The one thing I will say is, as always, Ali Hazelwood is hilarious. I think that their banter, be it friendly or more than friendly, is cute and like sometimes funny. I like how they just kind of like look at each other and understand things, finish each other's sentences and things like that. Connor is a red flag though, not just in the like age gap thing, but I don't like that he engages in making fun of her in a way that makes her feel put down along with other people around her. I don't like that every single woman besides Maya, and actually including her in this book, seems to be engaged in some type of relationship with him presently and also in the past. I do like that he's giving hot millionaire or billionaire vibes, you know what I mean? Because I enjoy like romanticizing like one day being married to a rich person so I can quit my job and never work again. All right, I've talked so much. I don't think much of it was coherent. Let's keep reading. I haven't read anything more, but I was watching the clip I filmed last night and I was rambling crazy. So let's give you a little summary of what I was saying. I don't inherently think that there is an issue with age gaps, except in the instance of the things that are going on in this book. It's more the fact that the male main character, Connor, he constantly infantilizes Maya. He and his friends. So Connor is Maya's older brother's friend, and their entire friend group is at this wedding. And they have known Maya since she was little. They helped Eli raise her, and so they kind of see her as like 13 in their brain all the time. We all do that with somebody, right? I have my twin cousins that I'm like, there's no way you're old enough to have kids. Like, you're still 14. What are you talking about? And that's kind of what Eli's friends see her as, it seems like. And they make jokes about how young she is at her expense, I feel like. sometimes it's a little off-putting the way that they like infantilize her, and that is where I feel like the love story is feeling a little bit icky, because if you see her as such a baby and such a young person, then how are you attracted to someone that you see as a child? You know what I mean? Like, are you admitting you're attracted to a child? That's where I'm at with this book. I'm just kind of like on, like, we're towing the line between this is okay and this is kind of icky. I guess it will all depend on how this relationship evolves from like the weird friendship vibes that they have going into a romantic relationship. Right, just came from Barnes and Noble. Oh, my cup matches the vibe of this book. Hello, how perfect is that? Another fun update that nobody asked for, but I planted these flowers. They're supposed to be some kind of Cracker Jack something or other. I already forgot the name, but I planted it in this cute little ice cream cone mug, and they already started to sprout. I'm very excited. It's interesting because you see this little like black thing. That's where that's actually the seed, and it seems like the leaves or whatever it is, like they sprout like right under the seeds, and then the seeds like come up out of the soil. That's so interesting to me. It's like they're growing backwards. Anyways, I'm very excited. I can't believe it grew so fast. It's been like 3 days. I also planted cilantro, and those are like not even sprouting. Anyways, let's talk about problematic summer romance, because I am way more than halfway through this book and I've only given you like one update. That's because I don't really have anything to say. Like, not much. It's all the same thoughts over and over again throughout this book. It's not so much the age gap that's bothering me, it's the infantilizing her, and like he makes such a big deal about her age. The other thing that has really started to bother me about this book is the fact that she's kind of like begging for his attention. And I know this could be seen as like, well, she's persistent and it's like it probably wouldn't end up in anything if she didn't pursue him as heavily as she does. But for me, I just like, where is the line between like you're being, I don't want to say desperate, but like you are like, know your worth. You know what I mean? Like he's constantly saying no to her, constantly telling her that he will not be with her. And I get it. He does show signs that he does like her, or at least he did in the past, like with the gifts and stuff. But in the present moment, he's just denying her and not really giving her any attention, and not really giving her any signs that he is still interested, other than the fact that he will not always deny that he's no longer interested in her. Like, that's really the only thing that she's running on. You know what I mean? Other than that, like, it's just like, wow, girl, you got a lot of cojones. Then again, if this was the other way around and it was a guy pursuing the girl in the same way, would I think the same thing? I think yes. Like, if someone constantly declines, at some point it's like, all right, you gotta let it go. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like sometimes she be doing a little too much. Hey there. I honestly cannot remember the last time that I updated y'all. I think it was Monday. It is now Wednesday because yesterday I just like I couldn't sleep, and then I had to like push myself through work. Went to the gym afterwards because I had an appointment with my trainer. And then I came home and I knocked out immediately. I slept for like 12 hours straight. And for some reason, I'm still tired. But here's where we are. I'm so disappointed in this book. I think I dropped off in like not the best place, because when I picked it back up, all we were getting was like the mushy romance stuff, and it was just like a little bit too much for me, which I don't think I've ever said before. But in this case, I just felt like it was way too much, way too fast affection, and it was just like all like crammed in there before we finished the book. In general, the book just wasn't hitting for me, just because I felt like the male main character was infantilizing the female character, main character, basically the entire book. She also kind of fed into that. And then I also felt like she was just like doing too much to get his attention. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that he had given her a little bit more so it didn't feel like so desperate. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I'm honestly like getting a little bit disappointed in Ali Hazelwood because I also did not enjoy Not in Love. And want to know something that I realized today too? Because Problematic Summer Romance was supposed to be book 2 and Not in Love is supposed to be book 1. And look at these covers. They look nothing alike. They don't match. You can't tell that they're part of the same series. Make it make sense? I feel irrationally angry about this. All right, y'all. Well, that was it. I forgot to end the video. It was just abrupt and chaos. And I hope y'all enjoyed it anyways. It's actually very sad because I left the book on the bus and it was a tabbed book. Like, I had put all my tabs in it. So I'm kind of sad about that because I don't think I will ever read this book again. And so I guess I will never have a tabbed version. Alas, we've come to the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave me a lemon emoji in the comments. If you enjoyed this freakishly weird rant, basically, about age gaps, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to join the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you all when I see you next. Bye!